been a Monday, okay? It has definitely been a Monday today. So much stuff going on. So there's MegaCon over the weekend, which my sister, me, and my daughter were supposed to go. So then it ended up being my daughter and my sister and my son went, because I gave my ticket to my son. Then my sister got sick, but then I'd already, said I was going to do open houses, so I didn't go. Anyway, it ended up being my daughter and my son went, and they had an extra ticket to a completely sold out thing. We also found out that they are definitely not capitalists in any way, shape, or form. They had a ticket to a sold out, there was like 100,000 people there, sold out event. There was people in line that was just hoping and praying that they could possibly purchase a ticket. They had one, full access, like you didn't have to get a band, like all the way. She paid extra to have it shipped to our house, so she did not have to even get a pass or whatever. They sold it for less than what she bought it for. Like, who does that? $40. They sold it for $40. She paid $55 for it. I was like, y'all are ridiculous. Like, whatever. But they gave her $40, so whatever. I told both of them they could never work at my office. I was like, y'all can't negotiate for anything. You literally had something you probably could have gotten $300 for, and yeah, that's great. I can't even believe, my husband and I were like, yeah. So yeah, but I guess I'm glad that they could even sell that at all. It was just, we just ended up with that extra ticket to a completely sold out thing. But they had fun. It was definitely something we've done as a family in past years, but this year it just didn't work out. The timing, it was also in April, whereas normally it's like into May. It's normally around Memorial Day. And this time it was like on April 1st. So kind of weird. It was just kind of odd situation, but we're definitely going for sure next year. So I think I'm going to dress up like the Elsa from Frozen. Anyway, so yeah, in times past, we've gotten like Doctor Who, we've dressed as Doctor Who stuff. Star Trek was last year. My husband was Leonard Nimoy's character, Spock. So that was cool. He had the ears and he had a wig on and, full Star Trek stuff. So yeah, we're one of those. It was fun. The best ones though is when my sister and I did Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. We had an 8-foot wingspan. It was awesome. She did such an amazing job that I actually had people come over and like poke us to see if we were actually concrete or not. Cause she had like gloves that were all the way up and like crazy. And then she had like nails that were painted the same color as the gloves, and she had like sewn, like it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So but yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one. We actually did that one for several years and I really miss it, but the costumes kind of got beat up. I mean, it's really hard to walk around with like tens of thousands of people and an 8-foot wingspan. It's just whew. So but yeah, there's probably 1,000 pictures of me online, but you cannot tell it was me because it was my sister and I. But if you go over to my Facebook, you will actually see the many times that we've gone to MegaCon and all of the costumes and stuff we did. And one time our son went in an inflatable dinosaur costume. Another time he went, he put a box on his head and it had like all of these like graphics as if he was in Minecraft. So yeah, he said his name was Steve. People were asking him for his autograph. They were like, Steve. It was funny. It was so funny. The kids always had fun with it. But they did bring me back these TARDIS earrings, so that was nice. And they're like, yeah, it matches your shirt and everything. So I did get some lovely earrings that they brought back for me. So I paid for them apparently, but that's okay. Still fun. And they were thinking of me when they got them for me, so it was nice. Anyway, but yeah, we are actually going to a real estate conference. We are heading out to Arizona for my real estate coach. He's been my real estate coach for years, and he does a conference twice annually. This one's going to be in Arizona, so we're going to go out. Fantastic. It's like a mastermind event. It's just absolutely amazing information. It's extremely fast-paced. Like, yeah, it just, I can't even tell you how fast paced it is. So we're gonna do that for 2 days, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna fly out there, do the event, and then fly back. And I'm like, fly back on a Friday? Like, why? What's the point? So I was like, well, let's see what's fun to do in Arizona. Visit the Grand Canyon, which I've always wanted to do. So we're gonna go and do that over the weekend. And I keep trying to talk my husband into being like an RV for life type person. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. He likes stuff, so I don't know that it's going to work out so well for that. So, because you don't have stuff when you only have, storage the size of a shoebox. So we are going to, we're renting a converted Sprinter van, and we are going to be going all over the Grand Canyon for a few days. So I don't know. Should I take video for y'all? I don't know. Do you want me to just like leave it alone? You're not that interested because it has nothing to do with Ocala, or should I go ahead and let you know what happened on this endeavor, the good, the bad, and the ugly? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I leave it up here? Just skip it. Let me know. I don't mind either way. I mean, I'm a shutterbug like crazy. I'm going to take a bazillion pictures and stuff anyway. And I love doing videos. Anything and everything. That's how this all got started, is because I'm always videotaping the kids and videotaping my husband and videotaping our lives, and because I want to remember it, and my memory is shot. Like, it's like shot at this point. So I just, accumulate, and I love going back and looking at that stuff later. And it's just so powerful, so much bigger and better than taking just pictures. But I love pictures too. So anyway, yeah, I am a major shutterbug. So I will be definitely taking a lot of pictures and stuff. But let me know if you want me to share it, and I'll do some videos for the channel as well of this interesting endeavor, because we have never done anything like this. So it should be really fun. All right, so how are you guys doing tonight? I don't know, you're probably watching this on your TV in your living room or something, so typing stuff out is probably really awkward or odd. But, if anything else, log in on your phone too, and then you can type out your questions on your phone. We can interact that way. So love Monday Night Lives just for that. I actually didn't realize that it was as late as it was. I'm sorry this was on later. I don't have my watch on today, which normally has like this little alarm that goes off. And today was weird. It was very weird. I ate breakfast at 4 p.m. That kind of weird. I didn't mean to. It's just, it was so bizarre. Today was so crazy. I had just also, I scared my agents today. I did. I actually got loud unintentionally. But I never raised my voice to my kids or to my kids in the office, my agents, some of which are older than me. But I just don't. If you do, if you're a yeller, okay, so more power to you. But I just don't. I think you can get people to listen to you by whispering. If you want someone's attention, get quieter, not louder, is my theory, and it seems to work pretty well for the most part. However, I had somebody on the phone, and I knew it was going to be a difficult conversation because they pulled some stuff, and that doesn't float well with me. Like, I'm one of those, like, if you shake hands with me and you give me your word, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna hold you to it until you prove otherwise. And if you go so far as to sign a document with me, that's your word in print. I mean, that means something to me, because it means something when I make a promise. I really, really, really will do everything I can to make sure that my word, it means something, especially in a small town like this. If your word isn't anything, it's over. It is over. So, especially like my kids, if I make a promise, it's going to happen. So I'd rather not tell them something like, so recently I was trying to get tickets for my daughter. She is absolutely obsessed with The Cure. It is not my type of music. It was actually even before my time. I think they started doing music in the 70s. She is obsessed. Robert Smith, and she actually has hand-painted shirts. Like, it's a thing. So she's all about The Cure. And she will literally ask you if it's The Cure or the Smiths and judge you accordingly, okay? She's 14. Totally obsessed with The Cure. Well, they are in concert right now. And they're coming to Florida. And every single venue throughout the United States, because they're apparently from England, every single venue completely sold out. Completely sold out. And they're not allowing for resales because apparently Ticketmaster charges like crazy amounts, and they're like, you're going to pay Ticketmaster more than you paid for the actual ticket and all this stuff. So they're not allowing resales. So at this point, if you have a ticket to the Cure concert in Tampa, which is what I would prefer, it's only an hour away, you can, if you're not able to go, you can sell them back, but you only get the money that you pay. You can just basically get what you paid for them. Great, because that means I can actually get a ticket for like $60 if I can actually get a ticket. So I've been trying for weeks without telling my daughter that I'm trying to get these tickets so that I can take her to her first concert. I don't really listen to this music, unfortunately. It's her thing. But I actually was like trying to get these tickets, and I mentioned it to a friend of mine, Krista Torrens. You guys have probably seen her on my channel before because she's a YouTuber realtor over in Orlando, and we work back and forth all the time with each other. And sometimes record, like right now we're coordinating a deal together. So she was like, wait, your daughter wants to go to the Cure concert? I want to go too. I was looking at tickets. I'm trying to find tickets. Is it okay if, can I take her with me? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, is she going to be okay going with like, somebody else? I was like, oh my God, if you like offered her tickets to the Cure, she'd probably get in a van with a creepy man offering candy. Like, she does not care as long as she gets to go. So it was not that bad. I mean, not seriously, but I don't think. Anyway, she's like, yeah, let's do this. So if they find, or if I find 2 tickets resold to Ticketmaster for this, I'm going to buy them. Or if she gets them first, she's going to buy them. If we end up with 3 tickets, that means I'm going to have to go to this concert. I say have to because again, it's not my music, but I would still love to go to watch those 2 goofballs because Krista, I know, is going to be dancing in the aisles, and Lexi will be right there with her. So I want to go to watch them more so than the actual band, but it's still. So we're trying to do that, but I didn't want to tell my daughter. I didn't even want to tell her I was trying, because if I can't do this for her, I don't want her to, think I broke my word or, something like that. So I didn't even tell her I was trying until last night. She actually caught me on the website clicking the refresh button. I've literally clicked the refresh button on this, I would say at least a dozen times today throughout the day. And it's just checking to see if there was 1 ticket that came up for sale yesterday, but it won't do us any good to do one. So anyway, but again, you just don't want to break your word. But anyway, this person today, he had oh, my husband's out there coughing. Sorry about that. He had actually broken his word thoroughly. And I was holding him accountable. And he didn't like that, as most people don't. So it did tend to get a little bit loud. Yeah. So my office door was closed and everything, but apparently some of my agents actually heard it through the door. So that's really not good. I didn't think I was that loud. He was on speakerphone though, because I had another agent, the agent that was actually responsible for him, in there. So, yeah, it got a little bit loud today. But yeah, even my daughter, she was waiting for me to take her to school. She's like, he didn't know the rules. I was like, what? And she goes, well, I was outside of your office and I heard you say you lied to me. And she's like, he doesn't know the rule. The rule at our house is if you do something wrong and you get in trouble, you're in trouble. Okay, suck it up, be an adult. You did something wrong, apologize, and we move on. If you lie about it, it's going to be 10 times worse. So that's the rule. Anyway, she's like, he didn't know the rule. I was like, okay. I was like, how much did you hear? She goes, only when you got loud. I was like, I got loud. Yeah, I came out of my office and everybody's eyes were like, I was like, what? They're like, who got in trouble? I was like, what? So yeah, apparently it was a little louder than I thought, but it was, I don't like those kind of situations, but they do happen at times. So yeah, everybody's got to try something once in a while, but yeah, it was, so that was today. That was after the property management meeting today. We had, we had so much craziness going on with property management. It's always different. I've done property management for nearly 20 years now, and it's still, I swear, there's always something different with it. So crazy, so different, but it does keep things interesting. The day that I stop learning in my field, the day that I think I know it all, is the day they're going to change laws and I got to start all over. I mean, there's always something different. There's always something new to learn. There's always some way to get better in my craft. And it's always so interesting, the stuff you learn. So even this conference, I've been with this coach for probably 8 years, at least. Oh, more than that, probably 10 years. And I'm still learning stuff from him, still. So really, really great to have that. I appreciate it anyway. So let's see, something else going on. Tomorrow, we're at the Chamber of Commerce. Speaking of learning, I'm actually going to be the instructor. I have a class that I'm teaching for the Chamber of Commerce that is social media for small businesses. So I think it's only like 45 minutes. It's not too bad. But we were getting all prepped for that. And I actually even did a PowerPoint. So yeah, should be interesting. Technically, I was at an appointment. I was waiting in a waiting room, and I scribbled it out in picture form. Like, if you had seen this, you would have had no clue what on earth I was doing. But I had, like, this and, all these arrows and horrible scribbles and stuff. And I gave that to my assistant, my wonderful, lovely assistant, Isabella. And she created a fantastic PowerPoint presentation that was as if she took the stuff from my mind and put it right there together for me in a presentation. So it was just, she's like, oh, I really appreciated the pictures. I'm like, you should have seen the horse I did. It was horrible. I was like, I can't even, it looked like a very odd version of the Gumby horse. Do you remember the Gumby? It was so bad. But I mean, I was just kind of getting it out of my head and trying to figure out how I wanted to do the presentation or whatever. And I had actually planned on doing it myself, and I just kind of ran low on time. So I was like, here, can you help me out with this? Put it together and we'll work together on it. And we did, and it came out awesome. So yeah, I will be doing that tomorrow at the Chamber, and then flying out after that to Arizona. So should be interesting. Should be interesting. Lots of interesting stuff going on. So MegaCon, and oh my goodness, just so much fun stuff. I did 2 open houses on Saturday last week. Is that not crazy? It's craziness. And then got Easter coming up this weekend, isn't it? On Sunday? Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? There we are. All right. What do we got going on? I did not actually put the stats in this weekend, this Saturday's radio show and podcast and What's Up Ocala. Because I'm going to be gone, and I didn't want to mess up the stats. I normally do them pretty much on Saturday, so like just the day before or whatever, so I get those stats and stuff together. So there's no stats because I had to I recorded it this last Friday. I recorded it in order to have it for this coming up Saturday. Anyway, because I knew I was going to be out of town, and I didn't want to, miss a beat. But I couldn't do the stats. So stats, in case you're wondering what's going on. Market Watch, we've got 297 new listings. Holy smokes, we're getting listings. We're getting listings. Price increases 56, price decreases 334. That's so odd. So we're up on the price decreases, but we're also up on the price increases. Back on the market, 90. There was 90 houses that fell through on their contracts and they're back up on the market. But sold, we had closings in the last 7 days of 291. That's about 100 more than normal. Expired, we had 36. I don't know what on earth was going on with that. That seems like it's the end of the month. That's why. So yeah, when you have an end of the month week, that's where you're going to have a lot of expireds, because normally expireds, for some reason, we always end the contracts at the end of a month. So that would be it. Pending, 332. Normally that's like 200 and something, like around 200. No, 332 houses went pending in the last 7 days. Wow. We actually may start seeing some price increases in houses. That's a lot. That's a lot for our area, for our market. So really cool there. Withdrawn, we had 6. Canceled, we had 66. Oh, excuse me, 44. Wow, I was looking at the wrong line for some reason. Wow, 44 different contracts or houses or properties or whatever that got removed from the MLS. 44. That's a lot. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, we have our agents are going like crazy. In fact, that's actually a video that I have to record after this. Is that we're going to do a call out to people because we need more agents. We need more agents in order to keep up with the massive amount of properties that we are selling. So, which is great. It's really awesome. We want to make sure that our customers are taken care of. We want to make sure that we have a high level of service for them. So I don't right now we're okay, but I just want to make sure, because there's a lot of training involved. I know at some brokerages there's not. We do a lot of training because I want to make sure that while we're not the biggest, I absolutely want to make sure that we're the best, and that means being educated and stuff. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So I did bring in a new agent today. So you can welcome Deb Sheffield. She has told me straight up she does not know or want to do YouTube though. So if you see me dragging a woman in here to actually see who she is and all of that, that's Deb. But she's just such a sweetheart. A lot of fun. She has a incredibly great customer base where they are like raving fans, like absolutely would never think to work with anybody but her. So that's when you know it's a good agent. When they come back, when they bring their friends and family, when they do referrals and stuff to you, that's when you're doing something right. So yeah, so that's what she's got. So yeah, Deb joined us today actually. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're happy to have her. So we're currently getting her. She's actually been an agent for a few years, so we're just getting her into our processes and systems and stuff. But we're excited for her. So she does a little bit of property management. She definitely has done investing pretty much all her life, so she'll fit right in. But she really likes helping, regular residential buyers. So people that are purchasing their home. So kind of interesting. She says she has a hard time with when she goes to sell to investors because they look at it at how they would want the house to be if they were living there. And she's like, think of it as a product. Like it is not, you're not going to live here. It's very different. It is very different with investments. Very different. A lot of agents will actually, they do regular residential sales, and then they'll have an investor come in that wants to do, maybe a buy and hold, and they'll sell as if it's a regular residential sale. That's not how you do it. If there's any agents on here that's listening to this, that's not how you do it, okay? You look at the most sought after area for tenants. And that means normally as close to jobs as possible. So if there's a job, like a place that hires maybe 1,000 employees or more, or a lot of jobs in an area, you find within a 10, 15 minute driving radius from that, figure out the schools in the area and stuff, and that's going to be the location that you look for. And also if there's a whole bunch of apartment buildings or a whole bunch of competition, not necessarily. So it's really, you got to really look at more of an investment, like more of a commercial type thing, even if it is a residential type situation. But anyway, I can go on and on forever about investment in real estate, because I love it, but we're not going to do that. So I don't see any comments on here. Am I just missing them, or just everybody's quiet tonight? I don't have any chat. It's probably my fault because I was late coming on here. Everybody else found something else to do. That's what it is. I know it. So don't know if you guys are local or other places, but we did go ahead and change over from WOCA, which is like talk radio here in Ocala. We switched over to Classic Hits. So I guess I'm going to be more of a fan of The Cure pretty soon. But I'm actually going to be going out to different locations and kind of sitting, hanging out with the real radio show guys. I'm like, I don't know, I'm a wannabe. I have one show, that's it. Like, that's all. I'm like one trick pony right there. That's it. I do real estate. But we should be doing some stuff, and they did put on the throughout the week there is a Ask Andrea series. So up on the radio show website, which also plays on podcasts and stuff, so even if you're not here local, you can actually listen to it. It streams, so if you just tell Alexa to go ahead and play Classic Hits Ocala, there you go. That's all you have to do. So you can actually listen to our radio station down here, including my show. It's really great. But yeah, they did, they're doing a Ask Andrea. So if you want to submit a question that will be played on air here locally and on our podcasts and Spotify and all of that stuff, you can go ahead and submit that. And it's just go to Classic Hits Ocala, that radio station website, and you can actually go to the tab that says Ask Andrea and submit your question there. And we're going to have one of those per week, so it'll be played multiple times each week. So if you want to put that in, that's awesome. Deblo's Place says, what is the deal with HOA on Waterways Estate? Are they canceling the HOA or not? That is an awesome question. Guess where I happen to live? Yes, in Waterway, in Ocala Waterway. You know what I would really love? I would really love a sign. It would be really awesome. Nobody knows where Ocala Waterway is because we have no sign. We have no sign. But yeah, that means you're like one of my neighbors. That's kind of cool. As far as whether or not it is part of the Kingsland Country Estates, K-O, I don't know, of E-A-O, it's like a whole bunch of whatever. I had heard at one point that it had dissolved, the HOA had dissolved for Ocala Waterway, but I don't know how that's possible because Kingsland Country Estates is part of it, so I think that was just a rumor going around. But yes, they are, as far as I know, they are still active. I know they still want their, $100-something every year, so that still goes on. But I mean, if they have money in the kitty, I would really, really love to get a sign. Like, I want one. I was thinking about it the other day. I would like one up on 95th and 49th Avenue Road, one at 103rd, and then one down at the tail end down by the 49th Avenue trailhead, just right north of that. So actually, technically, I want 3 signs. I don't ask for much. But I mean, there's space for it and all 3 of those locations. So why not? Why can we not have a sign? Come on. But 49th Avenue Road, keep in mind, that is all becoming a huge road. That's going to be a 4-lane road. How would you prepare an older home for sale? What would renovate first and last? What is most appealing to buyers? That is an awesome question. I love that question. One of the things is obviously the kitchen. Do you know what we do to kitchens to get them prepped to sale? Normally it is not, I mean, everybody thinks you got to pay like $20,000, $30,000 to have this amazing, a wonderful kitchen. Don't do that. Not if it's going up for sale. That is not what needs to happen. In most cases, there is this fantastic, oh, well, there you go. See? Okay. Well, maybe I should go to that. I might see you there. April 25th. Got it. So he's talking about the HOA meeting. So in Family Life church is just up at the top. So anyway, but yeah, if you do a kitchen, I would say paint the cabinets. It's a special paint. It's not just like any old paint, whatever. But it's a very special paint to paint the cabinets. Maybe even do a trim. It just depends on if it's like a flat surface. You can update it by doing like a fake trim. Anyway, paint the cabinets, do different hardware. Hardware makes all the difference in the world. It really does. Because a lot of the older hardware shows like the hinges and stuff. That's old. That's old style. You want to have the hidden hinges. That's definitely much newer. Having the, very European style handles and stuff. That's huge. But I mean, that's nothing. Hinges and handles and pulls. You can get a big old box of them from Amazon. Put those in. It makes all the difference in the world. You can literally change the entire look of a kitchen just by doing those small things. I would say if you can, find your granite. I mean, like here locally, the granite guy that we use, he does an install and everything. He does a fantastic job. And depending on how much granite is, how many slabs of granite he's going to need and all that. But you can do it for like $2,500 installed. I mean, it's not that horrific. Depending on how much you're doing. I mean, it's not like, but I mean, it's really not that bad. Considering how much laminate is these days, it really isn't that bad. So we've been doing granite actually for the most part, especially if it's like this really long piece of laminate and it's like a special order laminate, it's taking forever. Just do granite. It gets it done so much faster and it's so much less expensive. It's crazy. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of granite, putting that in, and then you can kind of check the different kinds of granite. It's just so pretty. Some of it's so pretty. But that is a huge thing. And if you have like, there's really two tones. There's either you're going to have a super cool tone to your house and everything's in like grays and grays and grays and white and grays and grays and grays, or you're going to have the warmer tones where you're going to have like grayish or beige, or they call it realtor beige. So it's all those tans and sand color and stuff like that. Totally fine, whichever one you do. If you have that, I wouldn't necessarily do the kitchen in white. I would do like an antique white or an off-white. That would probably look a little bit better, but it just depends on what you've got going on. And don't do anything too busy. I know y'all all watch HGTV. Please don't do anything crazy. Do not do, if they've got some neon green, whatever green, like wallpaper, don't do that. Do not do that. Please don't do that. I know it's pretty on HGTV. I know they say, oh, this is fabulous. This is the style. That's a fad. Okay, we're not doing fads here. We are doing as neutral as humanly possible to get the place sold. So kitchens, bathrooms, you can do the same thing with the bathroom. You can do the same thing. Some people do, they have those big old, sinks and stuff and the cabinets, the huge, massive, and it's just so bulky and it takes up half the bathroom. Depending on how you've got going with the flooring, if you're going to redo the flooring or not, because if you go from a huge, massive vanity to a little small vanity, it's going to look really nice, except for then you got to figure out the flooring. So keep stuff like that in mind. You might just want to update your vanity as far as it itself. It's actually pretty cool. You can do like concrete on the top. I know it sounds really weird, but it looks really cool. You can do just the top. You can find different tops for the sink vanities and stuff, and painting and doing new hardware on the base. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but I would say kitchens and bathrooms, huge one. Also, the outside. Do you know how many times I've had a listing where the buyers pull up to the house with their agent to go and do a showing and they will not get out of the car? I hate that. It drives me nuts. Like, give it half a chance. But no, they won't even go in because the exterior is so not what they were expecting or not what they wanted or just whatever. So fixing up the outside is huge. It really is huge. You need to get them inside the house. They can't sit inside the house and figure out where their furniture is going to go if you can't get them past the front yard. So, I mean, just some mulch. Do some mulch. Mulch is on sale this week over at Lowe's, by the way, if anybody wants to know. So yeah, just do some mulch, do some, pretty flowers, biff it up, make it look as gorgeous and inviting as possible. Make sure you don't have any odors when you first come in the house. My favorite is the maple pecan waffle, or something like that, from Bath and Body Works. And you put that right, it smells like somebody's baking cookies in your home. It is fantastic. Put that right by the front door, and everybody that walks in, they're like, oh, it smells so good in here. It's great. It's a little overpowering if it's in a small enclosed area like my office right now. I closed the door today in my office and that thing is going off. They're like, good grief. But I don't want to smell bad smells. I like good smells. I like good, strong smells. But yeah, so just keep in mind, it's nice smelling when they first walk in. And finally, make sure it's clean. Make sure it's clean. All light bulbs, I have a listing right now. I'm going to have to take like 20 light bulbs out there. She's got all these lighting fixtures all over the place, and she's got like 3 light bulbs that function. So I'm like, you're killing me here. So it's darker, and when it's darker, it looks smaller and kind of scary looking. So we want to make it as bright and as open as possible. So make sure you have no burnout light bulbs. That's such a small thing, but it's so important. Make sure that your kitchen, your bathroom are right on par. If you need to put some money into it, If you want to send me a picture, I'll look at it and tell you. I don't know if that's like rude or not. Like, okay, you need to fix this, this, and this. And I will tell you the truth though, so do not send me a picture if you don't want the truth. Do you know where I can find the deed restrictions for Marion Oaks? Yes, they are different deed restrictions depending on what part of Marion Oaks you're in. You're so welcome. If you email me pictures, I will literally point out stuff that, and it'll be cheap. I mean, really inexpensive to do stuff like that. But we do it all the time. You would be shocked at what realtor tricks have and property managers have for doing stuff inexpensive that makes it look like 1,000 times better. It's crazy. It's crazy. A little bit of paint can go a long way. Just saying. But yes, my favorite way to get deed restrictions is to just go on to all deed restrictions have to be submitted to the government. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm going to deed restrict this. No, it has to actually be filed. So you can pull it up that way. That's a little bit arduous, especially even for me, even knowing how to get into stuff. One of those is you could go through maybe like your house or your next door neighbor's house, go into Property Appraiser and look at the actual deeds to the property, and you'll probably see the restrictions there. Have you already bought a house in the area, or, what are you doing? Or you're looking to buy a house in the area? I don't know. Because Marion Oaks is set up in different units, and each unit is a little bit different, except all of Marion Oaks will not allow mobile homes, manufactured homes. It has to be site built. No, you're looking. Okay, that's super easy then. You just ask your realtor. We have to provide it. It's not even a question. So if you're looking at different areas and you're not sure about the deed restrictions, go ahead and ask a realtor. Or you can check with the title company. Title companies always have it. They have the HOA rules and regs. They have they have all of it. It's awesome. But yeah, Marion Oaks, just because it says Marion Oaks, if I give you the deed restrictions and then you buy a house in a different section, it might not be the same because they have different units. So one unit might say absolutely no commercial vehicles can be parked on your property. So if you've got, like, one of our cars has our logo and stuff on the back of the car, that would not be allowed in that section. So, and I don't remember which section it was. I'd have to look it up. Y'all think I have this stuff in my head, but so yeah, you just let us know, like, any house that you are looking at. I actually going to go spend time looking inside of it. Go ahead and get the deed restrictions from us for that house. We have to have the address basically in order to make sure, absolutely sure, that we have the right deed restrictions or the right HOA, whatever, for that particular house, because they can be different. They can be very different. I normally nag the title company. I do. I normally do. Because they have to have like all of that stuff in order to close. The covenants, the restrictions, the whatever. Yeah. You're so welcome. Crucero, yeah, absolutely ask your realtor. Absolutely. Without a doubt. My friend Lisa is texting me right now. It's coming across the top. She's sending me pictures of a sewing machine because Lexi wants to learn how to use a sewing machine, and so do I. I can hand sew pretty decent. I mean, like I can hem pants and stuff like that, but I don't know how to use a sewing machine very well. So we're going to probably be taking a beginner's class over at Joanne Fabric. Because she's really into fashion, so I guess I'm gonna learn how to use that thing. Hopefully it doesn't eat me. The needle goes really fast on those things, and I'm not that coordinated, and you gotta do your foot. I mean, it's like driving a stick shift car, but with a needle involved. It's just not, that thing's serious. This is scary. I don't know. I think my mom's scared because she used to do sewing all the time. And I remember watching that needle, and I think she did it just to freak me out so I wouldn't touch the thing because I was fascinated by the sewing machine and her working on it. And I asked her if she'd ever like gotten the needle on her feet, and she said yes, and I freaked out. So I haven't really touched one since. So, but my daughter's 14. She can learn how to use a sewing machine. If she can, I can, because I got to take her to the class anyway. I might as well take it myself. But yeah, she's super into fashion. She loves all these different crazy clothes. She wears crazy stuff and she likes wearing opposites. So she'll wear like army boots and a camo shirt with a frilly, lacy skirt. And it's like, yeah, so I don't know, to each their own. But she never wears anything like, I don't know, inappropriate or anything like that. So whatever. If she is using it to be herself, then there you go. She is eclectic. She has a very eclectic personality. We'll go with that because that's how her clothes reflect. So, really good questions tonight. If anybody is out there that is putting their house up for sale, I did do a video at one point about photography, and it kind of answers a lot of the questions that you didn't even know to ask. Anytime you hire a realtor, they better have a professional photographer. Just absolutely. If you see them go in there and they're not going to have a professional photographer, they go in there with their cell phone and take pictures of your house, do not sign a contract with them. Don't do it. Just don't. Because they're not that. I mean, I see $1 million homes and it's cell phone pictures. It drives me nuts. The stuff that these real estate, there's actually photographers that specifically want to do real estate photography, and they do amazing, beautiful pictures. And, you know, they have the right angles, and they do drone photography, so you see aerial views of above and, you know, all the stuff. I mean, and it's not that expensive. So, I mean, it's the cost of doing business as a real estate agent these days is you want to get the best photography. But it also means that you need to set the house up for professional photography. So normally I'll go about an hour before the photographer gets there and finish up and staging the site, the shots and stuff, because, you know, bringing, like, that's what the video went into, is like taking up any kind of bathroom rugs or area rugs, because that makes the room look smaller, and you want it to look as big and beautiful and bright as possible. Making sure all your pet stuff is hidden, because people, if they see anything like a dog or a cat, a lot of people will just instantly nix it. They're just like, nope, I'm not even gonna look at it. Nope, I can see there's a pet, I'm allergic, or whatever. They don't even give it a chance. Where can I send pictures? Send it to my email, send it to GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com, and I'll get them. It's GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com. And it might be that you have just an absolutely gorgeous house and I'll be like, you don't need to do nothing. But if there's anything that I see like, this is an easy fix, this is what you need, I will do it, okay? But don't be offended if I do, okay? Because it's not your house anymore, it's a product, remember? Don't be mad. But yeah, I don't sugarcoat it when it's something I'm like, oh, you do this, 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 and this. If you do it, great. If you don't, that's fine too, but I'm gonna give you my advice anyway. But yeah, it's GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com, and I'll get those. But yeah, if you are setting up for a photographer, make sure all of the, you're welcome, I'll look for them. Make sure that all the window blinds and curtains are open. Make sure you wash the windows. You would not believe, I mean, you can get a lot brighter in the house if you just wash the windows. Wash the windows. So like the week before, wash all the windows, inside and outside. All the lights on, the fans off. They put weird shadows when you have the fans on. So lights on, fans off, all the area rugs up. Minimize the furniture. All the clutter, you are going to be moving anyway, okay? If you want the stuff, make sure you are taking it with you, whatever. Put it in a box, put it in the garage, the basement, whatever. Label it and just be like, I'm already getting ready to move. When the buyers come in looking, if they see boxes, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm not displacing somebody out of their home. They're excited to move. They are so happy when they see moving boxes in a house, okay? So just put them over in the garage, put them in closets, whatever you need to do. But go ahead and start boxing this stuff up, okay? You are selling that house. You are moving, okay? It also helps with your mindset a little bit too, because you're just like, I'm packing to go. I need to get this done. So go ahead and just start decluttering. One of the big things in pictures, refrigerator. Take off every piece of magnet, every piece of paper, clear it, okay? And then my trick is when I go over there, I want to make those stainless steel fridges and stuff. I know they have like cleaners and stuff for them, but I go over with a little tiny bit of olive oil on a paper towel or a microfiber, and I just and it has this bright sheen to it. So, but somebody did complain because their cat was addicted to licking the fridge after I left, so I don't know if that's a thing, but it was good for their coats. But yeah, on the doors, I kind of buff in some olive oil. It just makes it so pretty and so shiny. Gets all the fingerprints and all that off. And if there's stainless steel anywhere else, the dishwasher, whatever, I do that too over there. What else? All your cleaning supplies, hide them. Nobody needs to see that stuff. Soap, anything like that. Anything at all inside the bathroom, including toilet paper, should not be in a picture. And for crying out loud, y'all, put the lid down on the toilet before they take a picture. Nobody needs to see the rim of your toilet. Like, close the lid, okay? Just close the lid. Hello, YD. Hello. So, yeah, go ahead and take that off. Go ahead and close the lid. I can't even tell you how many. A true professional photographer for real estate, you will never see in the mirrors or something like that. They do really good pictures. Really bright. The lighting is so important, but I want it to be for a magazine. I want it gorgeous. So there's just some stuff that I asked the owners to do beforehand. And the surfaces, every single surface in your house, you get one item. That is one item and one item only, if that. If you can go with 0 items, that's even better. So in the kitchen, yes, your coffee maker counts. So if you have the coffee maker on the counter, that's it. That's your one item. Everything else goes away. And you're like, oh, but what about all my pretty things? It's your pretty things. You're selling the house. They don't want to see your pretty things. They want to see, in their mind, their pretty things. So nope, all gone. Also, don't leave knives and stuff out. That is just freaky. I don't want to do an open house where there's a whole bunch of knives hanging out. Good grief. Don't you just hide those. Just no. And speaking of open house, one more tip I'm going to give you is when you are preparing for showings and open houses, I made chocolate chip cookies. Cool. For your open house. That was awesome. Take all your little things, like little easily pocketed electronics, take all that stuff and put it away. Your medications, put it away. Because some people go to open houses for opportunities instead of actually looking at the houses. So yeah. And us realtors, we're really good, but normally they outnumber us. So if we have 4 people come in and they all go in different directions, it's really hard to keep an eye on all of them. And some of them do that on purpose. So be very careful with, I actually went to a showing. It wasn't an open house, but it was actually a showing one time. I walked in there with my buyers and there was an entire dining room table with cash. I was not a happy camper. It was an elderly gentleman, apparently. I did not have the listing. I had to stand at that table so that I could protect my buyers, so that he couldn't say they took anything or nothing. I was like, I had to stand right there. I couldn't really even show. I had no idea to this day what was in the rest of the house, because I was sitting there guarding money. That is not my job. That is not my job. So I did. I called the listing agent. I was like, do you know what your full person did? Do you know? Are you crazy? I was so mad. I was like, yeah, because he went for a walk. Apparently he paid all of his bills like with an envelope system. I don't know. So he had all of his, I guess he was going to go get money orders and put it in the mail. I have no idea what he thought he was doing. But yeah, dining room table, a whole bunch of little piles of money all over it. Oh, that was crazy. Where can I find a good contractor? Yes, you could go to Angie's List. Personally, I would go to Facebook. When you go to Facebook and you post on there, hey, does anybody have a really good contractor they would recommend? You will get a whole slew of people going, call this person. And if you see more than one person giving the same recommendation, that's the person you call. You're going to want to call at least 3 people anyway for estimates. If it's a big job, you're going to want at least 3 people. Or that's for like a general contractor. General contractors are, if you can find a good one, they're rather elusive, okay? Because they don't need the work. They are so busy because we all love them. They don't need the work. So if you get one of those, it's like, oh, I found the golden ticket. But yeah, we have a GC that we work with and we just, oh my goodness, we love him. And we've had in the past, we've found some not so great GCs. If they're regular like subcontractors, like a granite guy or something like that, again, Facebook. Especially if you see a property manager, or a realtor, if they respond to you in your hometown and they put that person, we're really picky individuals. So, yeah, that, especially you can literally put in the post, especially my realtor friends or my property manager friends. Like, who do you guys use? Who would you actually recommend? And they'll put right on it. And if there's somebody that's not happy with them, they will put that on there too. They'll be faster with putting that on there. So even more important than who to call, it's who not to call. If you have a GC, especially a GC, that goes on there and he's like, hey, I can do this, this, and this, call me. Nah, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I wouldn't do it. I want somebody that has actually worked with him say, I am so happy with the way he did my work and how his billing was and how his estimates was and his professionalism, that I am going to post publicly to use him. I am that thrilled with this individual. That's the person you want. The person going, hey, I need work. Yeah, no, there's a reason you need work. So, you're never going to see me post on Facebook going, hey, I need work. I'm a realtor. Yeah, it's no, it's not going to happen. I know like some of my agents, if somebody's asking for a realtor, they're like, well, I'm a realtor. So if you need me, here's my information. But 9 times out of 10, it's one of our customers that goes on there and says, call this person. It's some of my competition will actually put my name on there. I'm not even joking. So, excuse me. I'm sitting here drinking water like crazy. But yeah, I would say go on there. Besides Marion Oaks, what other areas have new construction homes up to 300,000? Oh, everywhere. New construction around here is everywhere. Marion Oaks is fantastic for that though. because it's got some really, really great deals. And it's in Southwest Ocala, which is like the up and coming area. So I really like North Marion Oaks because it has like Westport School District. It's a little easier to get in and out of than South Marion Oaks, but South Marion, like way down at the bottom of Marion Oaks, they have 1 acre lots down there, and it's so many trees and it's so beautiful. So I kind of like that section as well. But I mean, it's all over. It's beautiful all over. Well, I'm not as thrilled with like the older small homes where they're really close together. You know, but you know, those really big lots where it's like an acre or up in North Marion Oaks, just because it's all newer homes there. It's easier access in and out, and it's the school district. Yes, that means north of 484. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know if it's actually in MLS, North Marion Oaks and South Marion Oaks. But that's what it is. So 484 is the dividing line. So it's not like it's equal. It's like 80% South Marion Oaks, and then 20% is North Marion Oaks. So it's a much smaller track. But it's the section that's in between the greenway and the trails and everything in there, and the 484. That section is called North Marion Oaks. Another great thing actually is also the trails. There's Shangri-La and the 49th Avenue trailhead. They need to build more there's 4.3s. There's 4.3s. I just went and showed one. Brand new construction 4.3 for $300,000. Brand new construction. It was beautiful. Yes, take videos. Thanks. Okay. Wait, was that in regards to? Is that in regards to the others? What I was asking about Arizona? I don't know if that's what he was talking about. I visited the past week. I live in Pennsylvania looking for Ocala. And you didn't come hang out with me? I see how you are. I see how you are. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would say going and checking out some of those. There's also some spot lots through D.R. Horton. But I don't know if they have 4.3. They might have 4.3s. It might be 4.2s. But they've got some pretty good size. And they're on a third of an acre lots, most of them. But their prices are really reasonable in there too. So there's a lot of new construction. But that one I was looking at had tile flooring throughout. I was like, oh, finally, a builder that gets it. Yeah, I like those 4.3s. There's also a very, very small community within a community. If you go over to Huntington Ridge, it is an incredibly small D.R. Horton community, and they have 4.3s. I think they have 5.3s as well that they're selling. And the HOA, it is an HOA in there, but it's, what is it? $25. Hold on, let me think. Is it $25 a month? Not even. It's like $100 for the year. It's something ridiculously low for the HOA because there's no amenities. There's no pool. There's no nothing like that. But it's a whole bunch of, there's like all of 100 of these D.R. Horton homes in there. It's all ages and really, really cool community. But that one has some really nice size homes. And it's South Marion Oaks, but it's just south. It's like right up by the Walmart and by the curve right there. So it's, if you know where the Dollar General is, it's like a block away from that. It's like walking distance to that, whatever. I love it over there. So pretty. My girl Dawn Hartman is over in that community right now. So shout out to Dawn if she watches us. But yeah, they've got a lot of really, really nice houses over there that they're building and really extremely reasonably priced. So I would definitely look into that. I know they're doing the Cali. Don't know if they're doing the Camden in there. It's a pretty good size house. But they're also doing larger lots than some of their other properties. So do like that about it. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Other? Don't know. In the country, a 5.3 in the country. define country. You know what? Email me. There's certain questions that I ask, and if you've ever talked to me, there's certain questions that I'll take you through. And one of them is how country or how rural are we going to get? Because to me, civilization is like Starbucks and Target, okay? For other people, civilization is a grocery store or a dollar store. So I can take you out where you're not going to see a house amongst the trees for a solid 20 minutes of just straight driving, no traffic. So, I mean, we can get really rural around here, but it's going to take you a good hour to get back to the Starbucks and the Target. So when you say out in the country, how far out do you really want to go? And then sometimes I'll have somebody say, well, I want a farm. And I'm like, okay, first off, what size and what kind of farm? Because a horse farm is incredibly different from like a watermelon farm, for example. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's very, very different. A cattle farm even is different from a horse farm. You get completely different needs. So knowing what you're going to use the land for is important. So, and then some people are like, yeah, I want to, I want to get some acreage. And I'm like, okay, how many acres? Are we talking 40, 20, 2? What are we talking? Oh, well, like half acre because I want a couple of chickens. Oh, we got you. Not a problem. So it just depends on what you consider, out in the country, what your portion of it is going to be in, whatever. Because even in the city, 9 times out of 10, you can have a couple of chickens. You can't have a rooster. If it crows, it's dinner. But you can have a couple of chickens. So, yeah, I know we had a couple of chickens, and I'm in an HOA. I had a couple of chickens for years. So it was actually nice having fresh eggs all the time. But they're messy and a little bit smelly, so just a heads up on that. Everybody thinks, oh, how cute, the little chicken coop, it matches my house. Yeah, no. No, they're you got a lot of cleaning up after them. All right, let me see. I know I passed. Of course, my daughter is going to call in. All right, I have a house here in PA that I'll need to sell to buy in Ocala. What would you recommend? Hold on. Sorry, my daughter was calling in. Okay, what would you recommend? Sell first, then buy, or is there a way to do it? I'm so lost. I don't know what to start. Honey, you need a realtor. Even if it's not me, it's okay. I won't. She just put a text message. I'm sorry. I thought you'd be done by now. I started late, so whatever. But she always, I swear, it's like she knows. Anyway, you need a realtor. You really do. Even if it's not me, I won't hold that against you, but they can help you coordinate. So again, whenever anybody goes on my Calendly, which is, the link is in there, it's calendly.com and then my first and last name. That opens up my entire Google Calendar. So if I'm doing something, it doesn't tell you guys what I'm doing. I might be over at the hair salon. I don't know. Normally I'm here. I'm always here. But if it's blocked, you won't be able to make an appointment for that time. So it protects us from, double booking or whatever. But if there's an open space, and there's a lot of open spaces on my calendar for that very reason, you go ahead and plug yourself in there, and we're going to have, you can put that you want phone, you can do Google Meet, or you can actually come into the office. Any of those is perfectly fine. Let me know. It'll ask you if there's anything you want me to know ahead of time. And then we sit down and chat. You and I sit down and we have a conversation about moving and what you can do and what you don't want to do. Even if it's 2 years away, I've talked to people that are 5 years out, and we just kind of like, okay, we come up with a game plan. All right, here's what you need to do. The house that you're buying, are you paying cash, or do you need to talk to one of our recommended lenders? Okay, no problem. There's no judgment either way. Even if you're not even able to get a mortgage yet, I still talk to you. Okay, it's just having a conversation and helping you come up with a game plan. It's totally fine. So one of the other questions is, do you need to sell your house? Or are you renting? What's your situation? So I can figure out how to get you from point A to point Z. There's a lot of points in between. So, it's a whole long process, and we've got to make sure that, you're doing all the way through. So if you've ever gone to one of my workshops where I'm like, here's the process for buying a home, some of the process, you have to do them in order so that you don't lose out on money or that you don't take any risk of losing money. So like, go through your home inspection period before paying for your appraisal, for example. Well, why? Why can't I just do the appraisal? The bank is pushing me to do the appraisal. If it's one of my lenders that I referred and they're pushing you to do something you're not ready to do, let me know, because I will take them off of my preferred lender list. They don't pay me, okay? None of these, they don't give me a dime, okay? So if they're on my preferred lender list and they don't treat you like gold, let me know. I will take their name right off. Nah. But yeah. So if you do the inspection and you go through the inspection period and then you find something on the inspection that's not great, you're out the money for the appraisal, because it's not like you can rescind that. So, we don't do the appraisal until we've gotten through. So there's stuff like that. It's little stuff like that, but we know the process. We get you all the way through from putting your house on the market, making sure you have a realtor. I know realtors all over the place. I'm going to a conference and there's going to be like 200 realtors that I talk to like weekly. We actually get to see each other face to face. I'm planning to move late summer, early fall 2024. So yes, set up an appointment. Set up an appointment now, because I don't want to get to where you're like, all right, I'm moving next month. Let's get started. And I'm like, all of a sudden my hair's on fire. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to get a game plan together with you right from here and walk with you every step of the way. I have had one customer, heaven help him. I love him to death. He drives me absolutely out of my mind, but he's great when he's not driving me crazy. But he actually came down. He's like, all right, I'm going to buy a house and we need to close next week. And I'm like, you want to go find the house, buy the house, close the house, and get the keys to the house in a week? And he's like, yeah. I did it, but it was painful, okay? I didn't like that. Don't do that to me. It was rough. There were some people mad at me by the way I was like, you gotta go. It was bad. So yeah, don't do that. Let's talk about this way ahead of time, and then we're gonna get every single duck all lined up. Otherwise, it's gonna be drunk ducks, and it's just not a good plan. It's not a good plan. So, but yeah, we'll just do a Calendly. Y'all, any one of you can do a Calendly with me at any point. It's literally calendly.com, Andrea /Andrea Praber. It's in all of my videos. I put it down in the description. Maybe some of my older ones, not so much, but I didn't know what I was doing back then. I had bangs. I mean, no. But yeah, it's in any of my videos. So just go ahead and click on that. It takes you directly to my calendar. You put yourself right in there. It sends me alerts. It even sends me reminders. It sends you reminders. It's great. So I have it all set up to do that. So you guys can just, add yourselves in. If we just want to chat 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, and just make sure we come up with a game plan, or if you just have questions and stuff, that's cool. We can do that. We absolutely can do that. But yeah, I would say if you're trying to figure out putting your house on the market or buying a house down here or whatever, you want to start having those conversations, because we do it all day long for hundreds of people. You've got one house that you're selling, and you don't do it all day, every day. We literally do. I mean, that's what we do. So we go to work, and that's what we do. So we can get you through it. Absolutely get you through it. So yeah, don't be shy. Put yourself on there. And if you want to not do a phone or Zoom or whatever, you can send me an email. I had a few emails come through today. Keep in mind with emails sometimes, especially on a Monday, because I have everything catapulted onto Monday that happened over the weekend. So just give me a little bit of time on them emails. It might be a day or two before I get a response. If you haven't heard from me within 48 hours on the email, send me another email, because something got put into spam that it didn't need to be going into spam. I got a lot of spam, all right, a lot. And sometimes it puts you over into the spam, even though I didn't want you to go over the spam. So just heads up on that. But you'll get an email from me pretty quick. And if you do not have one from me within 48 hours, send me another email and be, hey, you didn't get, or just call me. You did not respond to my email. And that does not count this week. I will be checking emails and stuff, but this week I will be at that real estate conference. I'm so excited. It's going to be a little intense because we're flying in. There's a 3-hour time difference. It's apparently cold in Arizona. This little Floridian's going to freeze her butt off, but there's snow. There is snow at the Grand Canyon. I was planning on going like walking down paths and maybe getting a donkey and riding that down. It is cold. I'm not doing none of that. It's going to be like in the 30s at night and then like 50s during the day. Here in Florida, if you are in the 50s, you do not go outside. That is a winter. That is harsh winter weather. So yeah, and we don't do snow here ever. So I have my leather coat already packed and I've got my winter gear, which is my hoodie. But I'm thinking I may have to actually stop and get like a parka or something. Because I don't do winter. And it's April, so I don't even know why Arizona is doing winter, but whatever. And we're going camping, so this is going to be fun. But we'll see. We'll see. Should be interesting. Yeah, but yeah, I will definitely do a video if you guys are interested in what we are doing, because we don't know what we're doing. I've never been there before. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I've never rented a converted Sprinter van. I've never gone camping with my husband for multiple days. Like we'll do like a weekend, but we've never done like 4 days of camping in an RV that has the bathroom in. I don't even know how this is going to go. So I'm not sure, but we're going to see. I might bring my hunting camera just because that I don't actually hunt, but I really love taking video of stuff at night. And oh my goodness, that would be hilarious to see us at night, like as we're like trying to figure out. Oh, it's going to be funny. I might just go ahead and do that. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's it for us. I got a lot to do yet before I get out the door tomorrow. And I got to still prep for that class in the morning. So lots to do, lots of stuff exciting going on this week. And if you need me at all, you have full access to my calendar. Grand Canyon is beautiful, amazing. Please make sure you go to see the sun. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then there's, we're going to be eating Mexican every day. We are going to be eating Mexican food every day because Florida Mexican food is, it's not the same. I lived in Texas for 13 years, okay? I know good Mexican food. Here it says it's Mexican. It's not. It's more Caribbean food. It's more Puerto Rican than Mexican. I'm not joking. So yeah, we are going to go over there. I'm telling my husband already, we are going to the Elote Cafe over in Sonoma. We're going to be eating Mexican every day. Just, that's it. It's not a question. Anyway, all right, y'all have a great one. You have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I appreciate all of the comments and questions. That really helps me out so I actually know what to talk about instead of just sitting here. So I appreciate it. That's why we do these lives, is so that we can like chit chat and stuff and really have more of a time together. So, oh, thank you so much, Crucero. That's awesome. All right, you guys have a great night and thanks for joining me, and we will see you next week. Bye.